JMG Live Music Lounge. Ready? Let's go.
JMG Live Music Lounge with Jakari Harris. Hear it first with your favorite music artists and celebs. Interviews and entertainment. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the JMG Live Music Lounge. I'm your host, Jakari Harris, and thanks for kicking off your weekend with me. So after the release of the first episode last week featuring Nervo, I heard from quite a few of you. I want to thank you for tuning in, and also want to let you know that you can always follow JMG Magazine on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. In this week's episode of the JMG Live Music Lounge, I have not one, but two great interviews lined up for you guys this week. First up is actor Dan Amboyer from NBC's The Blacklist Redemption. Then I have the Belgian brothers themselves, Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike. You know, it's not the music lounge without a little dance music, so turn up the podcast and let's go.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
My music headline for the week is on live music and brunch. Yes, brunch. You heard me. Restaurants this time of the year are offering brunch on Saturdays and Sundays, especially in a city like Houston, where the weather's so great you could sit out on the patio. And of course, what comes with the bacon and eggs? Live music. Either a DJ, singer, band, live performer. It's a little bit of everything. So some of the places where I've gone to brunch before that I've really enjoyed include the House of Blues for their Gospel Sunday brunch. You know, you can never go wrong with a little worship and some Southern cooking at the same time. So it's always been a great experience at the House of Blues. And then Pistoleros, you know, they offer Mexican food and a live DJ on Sundays. And then places like Pele Pele that has their authentic South African cuisine. They also have a live DJ. But there's one place that I have not been to yet, and that's Phil and Derek's. Yes, I know you've heard about this place. They have a live jazz band, and from what I've heard, the food is incredible. It's really hard to get a reservation over there, but guess what? Phil and Derek's, I'm coming. I'm making my reservation soon, and that's my next brunch spot. This podcast is supported by Aura Nightclub. Aura presents hip-hop superstar DMX with a live performance on Sunday, March 26th for Aura Dynamic Sundays. You don't want to miss this epic show. For bottle service or reservations, call 713-965-4275 or visit aurahtx.com.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
So Mr. Dan Amboyer, he's an actor from New York. Many of you may be familiar with his work. He played Tad on the TV Land show Younger. And then for all of you Batman vs. Superman fans, you may remember him as the drone pilot from the Dawn of Justice movie that came out a couple of years ago. Well, now he's taken on a new role as an escort, yes, an escort, named Trevor in the spinoff to The Blacklist on NBC. The show is called The Blacklist Redemption. So the interview started with me asking Dan about his role as Trevor. You know, playing an escort doesn't seem to be too complicated of a role. I'm sure, you know, they were looking for someone that, you know, had a nice body, that was very attractive. But I wanted to find out from him what it took to land the role and a little bit more about his character, Trevor.
Let's see. Well, the thing about, you know, these shows is there's always surprises. So it's hard to tell you much because, you know, you'll meet me on the episode, and you might think that I'll never appear again. You know, so the show's kind of interesting like that, where you know, just a character becomes something unexpected. But I am an escort, and you meet me in a compromising situation at first, and I guess the role is a little bit interesting because I wasn't actually. I have, you know, an agent and here in New York, and the agent actually didn't pitch me for the role at all. The woman who cast the show actually came and asked me if I'd consider auditioning for it because apparently she knew that there was going to be twists to the character and there was going to be this whole other side to the character, but that wasn't something that was kind of revealed when they were looking for people to audition for the part. So they told me that there would be this one episode, but there would be more stuff coming, and they couldn't say where it was going. But I was on vacation in Iceland in the time, so I actually made an audition tape from Iceland, and sent it in, and that was it. They just cast me off that tape.
So since The Blacklist Redemption is a spinoff, were you familiar with the original series before you went for the part?
Yeah, I mean, I've been familiar with the show. I've had a lot of friends that have made, been on the show for like an episode or so. So I was familiar with it. But I was excited about Famke doing this spin-off, and I think she's a great actress. So I was excited particularly about the spin-off for, who they got to do the show. I thought it was cool to have someone with her, stature agree to do it. And it's kind of right now it's a limited series of 8 episodes, and it's kind of a cool idea. So I thought it was an exciting project.
I can imagine so. And obviously, Dan, you're an attractive guy. You play an escort on your current show. You've played also a quote-unquote fantasy man on All My Children some years ago. How does it feel to be the sexual object in a lot of the roles that you play?
It's funny. I mean, I kind of have a few different veins that I fall into. I don't know if you ever watched Younger, but I was on Younger for a couple seasons, and I played the Wall Street douchebag, and then all of a sudden I was getting cast as Wall Street douchebags in other shows, and I did that. I did a pilot for CBS where it was a Wall Street pilot with John Cusack, and I was a Wall Street douchebag in that too. So I kind of, you go through these phases in your career where those things come your way, and it's funny because this escort thing, I just did a play in New York in the fall where I had to be naked on stage, and I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't been asked to, show a lot of skin for a long time, but then I think because of that, I was kind of whatever about being an escort or being put into sexual situations, just because I felt so used to and comfortable just from doing the play. But in the play I was not an escort. I was a professor of English literature in the 70s. It was kind of a sexual discovery play. But yeah, I think you just kind of fall into a character type, and then people start to see you that way, and then just more roles start coming to you. But I've never had to do anything that I didn't think was tasteful. And the show is on network television, so when I say I'm naked, you don't see anything but upper body. So it's not really that.
Of course, yeah.
Risque and more than going to a beach, So.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, yeah, it's network television, so it can't be too risque.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an episode of Girls, so.
Now, I saw on YouTube that you performed with the Skivvies last year. Was that your first time performing with them, and how did that opportunity happen?
They are a group of the 2 Broadway actors, and I've actually done shows with them in the past, so I just knew them, socially, and we were friends beforehand. But yeah, I knew their work because they kind of their thing is they always bring in guest stars for their shows, and they'll write them like a mashup, medley kind of thing of popular songs. So I think they're really funny, and they're extremely creative, and they play a million instruments, and they just make me laugh. So yeah, it was a fun time, and to jump into it and do something different than I usually do.
Now, you've played a drone pilot in the Batman vs. Superman movie, Dawn of Justice. It was a small part, but what was the audition process like?
It's kind of a longer story. That I actually auditioned to play Superman in Man of Steel originally. And so I guess the first time I auditioned for that franchise was back then, but I was really young at that point, so I think I was definitely too young. But I remember doing that process was interesting because they measure you and to kind of get up in your business. But yeah, for this one I made an audition tape, and there was stuff that was I think you probably saw that there's different versions of the movie that came out, and there was a lot of material that ended up getting cut from the film, unfortunately. But I still remain with those couple lines. But yeah, so I just played an audition tape and was cast from that.
And so you do have the Blacklist Redemption that's out now, but are there any other projects that you're working on?
Yeah, I just did a film with Vince Vaughn that'll be coming out this year called Brawl in Cell Block 99, and it's like a gritty prison film. And I get to torture Mr. Vaughn a little bit, so that was fun. So that's coming out, and then I did. So I worked on that show Younger for a couple of years, and so I worked with a couple of the writers, and they wrote a web series, a comedy set in LA. So I just finished shooting that too, kind of back and forth between LA and New York for Blacklist. And that'll be coming out sometime this year as well. So it's like a web series. It's about a couple of unemployed guys in LA. So that was fun, and it's good to work with. Once you find a group of people that you respect their writing and you get each other's personalities, it's cool to keep working with those people. So unfortunately, even though my first character was killed off of Younger, I get to work with them on a different project. So that was fun.
Well, that's always good to work with people who, you've had past experiences with and, people you enjoy working with.
Oh, yeah. It makes the process a lot of fun and really easy because you have a shorthand between you. It's not, just completely, just being thrown into cold water or something because you don't know who you're talking to.
Exactly. And so on your downtime, Dan, what kind of music do you listen to? Like, obviously you're a fit guy, good-looking guy. You obviously go to the gym. So when you're, in the gym working out or maybe in your car, what kind of music are you listening to?
Oh, gosh. Well, mostly it's the subway here in New York with the driving. But, I get into habits where I'll just listen to the same stuff over and over again. But I just committed to Spotify, and now I love there's like the browse section. So I love just putting it on like the viral, global 50 station and finding new things, and that's kind of what I like to do. And also, I can create playlists with my friends now.
Are there any specific artists that you enjoy listening to?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, who have I listened to lately? I love like Drake, and then I love Sia too, and just random people. It's all a big mix. I kind of don't fall on one thing because I grew up with a lot of classical music, and I grew up on like Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong and stuff. And that's mostly what we listen to in my house. So I go to a lot of that too, the old stuff.
Okay, just a little mix of everything.
It's a big mix that's hard to categorize.
Okay. And so if someone was, taking a trip to New York, and obviously you're a New Yorker, what are some hot spots you would suggest people to go to, whether it's a lounge, a club, or a restaurant? What do you consider to be some of the hot spots in New York?
The thing about New York is I still do this, on the weekends. I just love getting a cup of coffee from some place and walking around exploring, because things that you can stumble upon, that I've never, taken the time to notice before. I can walk down the block 50 times and not notice that there's a cool little, like cafe, like a French cafe that I've never been to before, and all of a sudden I'll discover a great place. So I love just, walking around the city and kind of stumbling upon things on your own, but some things that are unique to New York that you wouldn't find elsewhere. I think there's some cool speakeasies, look them up. As far as, like, entertainment, there's, have you ever heard of Sleep No More?
Yes, I have.
Sleep No More, yeah, like things like that, it's like experiential thing that only exists in New York. It's like an old hotel that's converted into like a 1920s performance piece, that has something to do with Macbeth. So just kind of cool things like that I would explore, and of course Central Park, and it's kind of endless here.
Yeah, definitely. I know New York has quite a few, not even quite a few. I mean, there's a ton of places to check out, day or night. So it's always a nice variety. I've spoken to so many people that live there, and they've always suggested so many different things. And just like Houston, we have different, so many different businesses that open up all the time, different restaurants and bars and lounges. And I know New York is the same way. So it's kind of hard probably to keep up year after year, month after month, because so many places are opening up.
Yeah. There's just so much. And for me, part of the fun of it is discovering it for yourself too, because you can find the places that are the popular hotspots, and but it's fun to just stumble upon something and be open to whatever's around you, and you can make your own unique New York experience just from that.
Exactly. Now, I'm sure you saw the Best Picture mix-up at the Oscars with Warren Beatty. Now, if you were in his shoes, how would you have handled that situation?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's hard. He's an older gentleman too, and I'm not sure. Who knows what his eyesight is like? I have no idea. But I think it was right to be confusing. Nothing like that has ever happened before. But I think I would probably maybe ask for confirmation. Which maybe he was asking of
Faye
Dunaway when he was the card. But she just went to read the title. So I'm not sure there's really anything else they could have done different. I think it was just a series of unfortunate events, that they were handed that envelope. But I think, the producers of La La Land and everyone handled it with, great dignity and did it really well. So I really don't have a criticism for it. It's just really unfortunate. I was rooting for both of those films. They were my two favorites. I thought it was between them. So I was happy that one of them won.
Well, I was definitely rooting for Moonlight, so I'm glad it won. Well, Dan, I appreciate you being on the podcast. Is there anything else that you want the JMG Live Music Lounge listeners to know?
No, just to if you're interested in Blacklist, just really to watch the show, because I think there's a lot of backstories to these characters we can get to dive into, and every time I get a script in my email, it's really exciting because it's such a fun, gripping read for me. So I can't wait to see it come alive on the TV screen, and I hope it's as enjoyable and thrilling as it is, for the audience as it is to create it, and it is to read it every time a new script pops in my email box.
So my next music headline is on Miss Nicki Minaj. Nicki just had 3 songs enter Billboard's Hot 100 chart, including No Frauds, Regret in Your Tears, and Changed It. With these 3 songs, Nicki is now the woman with the most Hot 100 hits of all time. Go Nicki.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
So when you think of heavyweight artists in the electronic dance music world, there are so many artists to choose from. But Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike are on everyone's list. That's playlists, charts, you name it, they're there. Currently, the guys are ranked number 1 on DJ Mag's Top 100 DJs chart. They've sold out stadiums all over the world, and they've worked with artists such as Diplo and Neo. Currently, the guys are in Miami for Miami Music Week and for the Winter Music Conference. They have a show set up at the Raleigh Hotel for the DJ Mag's poolside sessions, and we know that's probably going to be a sold-out event. So the interview was just with Dimitri. He was in Belgium, and we touched on a few different things. In particular, we talked about their number one hit, Higher Place, featuring Neo, that went number one on Billboard's dance music chart last year. We also talked about, of course, touring, and then their latest single, Hey Baby, with Diplo, featuring Deb's daughter. I really liked the song. It had a nice Caribbean sound to it, but I wanted to find out from Dimitri how the collaboration went with Diplo and how they worked together on this song. And this is what he said.
Well, I think it's always been a combination of all our input, like it's been going back and forward, and I think we had a pretty strong idea from the beginning where we wanted to end. So, it's hard to exactly, this is him, this is it. It's just the perfect melting of our styles together.
It's funny, Dimitri, because I like Deb's daughter's voice, and she even sounds a little bit like Rihanna. Is that why you guys wanted to work with her?
Well, the thing is, we made the instrumental, and Deb's vocal was one of the first ones that came back. And for us, immediately we heard it, and we're like, okay, this is a hit. We don't even have to look for a big singer to sing this. It's perfect as it is. So for us, her voice really sounded perfect on the track, and that's the reason why we chose her.
Yeah, I like her voice a lot. Now, you guys have shows in Miami, Mexico, and Las Vegas this month. Is there one show that you're looking forward to playing at the most?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, on one side, we love our residency in Vegas at the Wynn. It's always a great time. We love Miami, of course. We've been going to Winter Conference for, I think, the past 10 years. And also Mexico is one of our biggest fan bases, so we're really looking forward to going back. So it's hard to pick a favorite because they're all going to be amazing shows.
I can imagine. And why do you think the Miami shows are so special?
Well, it is kind of a big family reunion, It's like one of those opportunities. It happens it happens at Tomorrowland. It happens at Miami where you get to see everybody again, say hello, maybe work together on a new track. It's just fun, mainly, Like you also have Amsterdam Dance Event, which is also work-wise, it's definitely as cool as Miami, but it's just a better time in Miami because in Amsterdam it rains and in Miami the sun is shining.
And there's nothing like the sun, Dimitri. Now, I know you guys have a show at Intrigue nightclub in Vegas on March the 25th. Now, Intrigue, I know, is a fairly new club. I remember seeing some of the Facebook promos for it last year when they first opened up. How would you compare Intrigue to some of the other nightclubs that are in Vegas?
Well, I mean, Intrigue is a little bit more intimate. We played there now 2 times, and for us it's refreshing because we're used to playing big festivals and big crowds. So getting this intimate contact with your crowd in Intrigue is a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, because you guys are used to playing mostly large arenas and big name festivals. But what's the difference, in your opinion, from playing in a smaller venue versus those big arenas and festivals?
Well, maybe I would say your playlist is maybe a little bit more experimental. Sorry, hold on. I just have to take a roundabout here. I mean, on a festival you play a 1-hour set, and you go for the high energy madness, whereas in a club, you can go a little bit more for the vibe, and you play a longer set. So it's different.
Bringing the Madness is a year-end concert that you guys do every year in Belgium at the Sports Palace Stadium. I like saying that word, Sports Palace. And in 2016, you guys had a sold-out crowd of over 80,000 people. How does it feel to sell out the same stadium that U2, Madonna, Beyonce have all sold out?
It's for us, it's still sometimes hard to believe. Like 85,000 tickets, and selling 60,000 tickets of those in 1 hour. Yeah, that's crazy. It's great to get so much support from your fans, and also like the neighbor countries. We sold 45,000 tickets in Germany Germany 2 weeks before that. So it's great that Europe supports us so much.
And I'm glad you brought up Germany, Dimitri, because that was my next question. So your last show there drew a crowd of over 45,000 people. As long as you guys have been on the scene, it seems as if your audience is continuing to get bigger and bigger. Why do you think your fan base is continuing to grow?
I think we have a lot of loyal fans that have been following us for many years. And I think, of course, new music also always reaches new people. I think the radio success of our latest singles definitely also helps.
Oh yeah, releasing new music is always a good way to reach new fans. And so your single Higher Place featuring Neo went #1 last year on Billboard's Dance Club chart. What was it like to work with Neo?
Well, he's amazing. I mean, he's such a talented artist. And working with him was unreal, you know. So we're really looking forward to doing a new single together with him.
And who decided to work? Who approached Neo as far as you guys working together? Was it record label, or did you already know him? How did that relationship happen?
It was, to be honest, I don't even know exactly who made the connection, but we were in LA in the studio, and we got word like, okay, you guys want to meet up with Neo tonight? And we were like, hey, you know, why not? And a couple of hours later, we knocked out the Higher Place. So it was a successful meeting.
Well, that's good. That's cool. And so you guys also reached #1 on DJ Mag's Top 100 DJs poll. As a DJ and artist, how important is this poll to you?
Well, it is, let's say, it is, of course, a popularity poll. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of confusion about what the poll actually is, but it is a worldwide popularity poll, and to have so many fans voting for you, because there's over a million voters, is, of course, a big honor. So we're really happy that we reached that #1.
Definitely, and congratulations on the win. Do you guys have any other projects coming up in 2017 that we should know about?
Well, we have a couple of new singles lined up. I cannot reveal too much about them, but I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with the new music.
Oh, I know you can give us a hint, Dimitri. Are there any special collaborators or guest appearances?
No, there's going to be some crossover tracks on there, and people might see some of their favorite artists appearing. So, looking forward to announce.
Now, you guys recently had a show in Houston at Stereo Live. How was the show?
The show was an amazing show. It sold out immediately. We had an amazing crowd. We had an amazing time, and we can't wait to be back.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
This podcast is supported by Jolie Promotions. Need models for an upcoming event? Jolie Promotions is an all-female promotions company that can represent your business or special event with brand ambassadors and promotional models. For more information, visit joliepromotions.com.
JMG Lounge. Music Lounge.
Thanks for tuning in to the second episode of the JMG Live Music Lounge. Be sure to follow me, your host, Jakari Harris, on Instagram and Twitter. And be sure to tune in every Friday to hear your favorite music artists and guests. Visit jmgmags.com to download the latest episodes of the JMG Live Music Lounge podcast. This portion of the show is sponsored by Avant Media Institute.